Good day. After watching yesterday's video that I posted, I was like, you know what? I really do have to change a few things. I didn't record myself doing it, but I'm just gonna walk you through some of the changes I made. So I divided and transplanted a few things to make this border on the north side. So it's south facing. Yeah. I just wanted them to have a little bit more colorful interest and balance on the edge here, similar to how I really like it at the back. So I moved around a bunch of stuff. I talked about how there was a phlox that was tucked behind here, and so I decided to plop it over here where the other pink phlox was. I think the white worked out. I didn't like the pink phlox here because it was a hot pink and I found it clashed with the Heuchera. I think the white is like a brighter color for this spot next to the two dark leaf shrubs. So I moved that. The pink phlox that was there, I ended up replacing the cardinal flower, the red cardinal flower, because I'm giving up on it. Even though I said I was like, I'll try 3 years. I was like, it's such a late bloomer too. This one is almost finishing up its first bloom, so it would have pink. I was also hoping that this area would be more of like a kind of pink area. I did have some red echinacea here, and I swapped out the red echinacea here for some pink echinacea from the island bed. So I took the red echinacea and I moved it here, and now it really, I find, in my opinion, I really like that, right, that they match kind of, and it's just like, I don't know, this area is not so much pink and like orangey red clashing anymore, so it's just in the orangey red kind of family with some accents of purple, I guess, because I still have these, or blue I should say rather. But I find that the salmon just didn't look as good there. I mean, it was okay because salmon still is on the red orangey side, but I thought this looked better, so I switched that up. I also I did want to put the cardinal flower somewhere, so I shoved it back here, being like, survive if you will. If you don't, I'm over it. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it belongs in my garden, if it's that much of a problem plant. So if it's gonna do something, it has to do something there, and if not, it's fine. It'll just die out. I'm okay with it. I added it looks like it's a pink Heuchera, but it's actually not. It's just that's the back of the leaves, because when I transplant Heuchera, they get all crazy and upset, you know, they get a little irritated. And the front of the leaf is actually more of an orange kind of look. So yeah, not that, right? That's just the back of the leaf. So I think it'll contrast just fine with this. It'll be like different enough is what I'm trying to say. And I just put some sedum ground cover red dragon there. And since I had a boulder blue, I think it was here, the boulder blue fescue grass, I didn't think it was high enough to cover the like bark area or the trunk area of this sand cherry tree. So I was like, I'll put something taller there, and then I'll move it wasn't doing well anyways. Some of these don't do as, I have two doing really well, and then I have this one not thriving and this one not thriving. I just shoved it back there for now because obviously this doesn't even show in the spring, right? So we do see everything that's behind there. That's why I do have to underplant in this area, because that doesn't get big that fast. So I will be underplanting other things here. I think most likely this speedwell, but I only want to do that when it's not in bloom. So I'll probably do that in the fall. I'll take like little bits, because I think it's the perfect height to underplant right under this. I don't want to disturb the roots too much either. So I wanted something with shallow roots, which I think the Veronica speedwell does that. The other thing I changed here was that there was a huge, well, it was that one, but double. So it looked exactly like this, only no veining in the yellow foliage, and it was here. And I just thought it was like too close, and that there wasn't enough of a pink pop or a red pop. So I don't even, where did I get that Heuchera? But I brought a Heuchera over here. Oh yeah, that one's watermelon. I split this watermelon Heuchera here in half, and I brought it over here, and it's showing you the back sides. That's not the color of it. That's more the color. So it is still kind of on the red pink side of things. It's just a little upside down right now because I just moved it, but it'll be fine. And then I had a purple, oh wait, what's this called? Wild berry Heuchera. I had it planted there, but I decided that since this purple smoke bush is the exact same color as the wild berry, I moved that, took half of that lime Heuchera, put it here, right? Because I split that lime Heuchera, it was massive. I put the lime over there and the purple Heuchera over here, and the purple and this kind of watermelon color I think will look really cool next to each other. And now I have kind of the border I was looking for in this space. It's just going to be a lot more full and a little less just yellow in the border. So looking back over here, I think my yellows are now in a triangular form. So I've got the euonymus there, the Atlanticetum here, and then the lime Heuchera there. So I think like it's a really good balance. Did I change anything else? I don't think I changed anything else, even though I'm waiting for this border to look perfect. Like that Heuchera has to fill in. Oh, I put the carex grass. So going back over here, I had carex grass under there, like hiding, because the carex grass didn't do that well. And I was like, I just don't know where to put it. So I just shoved it here. I'm waiting for this star juniper to spread. Like it's gonna take up that rock and the carex grass, and it should get this big eventually. So once it's growing, I'll move these guys out to give it space, but until then it's just too much ground, right? It's just too much ground to look at and weeds to grow in. So I'll put the carex grass. I hope it's doing okay. This is very clay, moisture kind of soil, even though I've amended it a few times. It just doesn't seem to dry out ever. We've had so much rain, it's been crazy. The other thing I did was I finally cut down the Shasta daisies that were here and enormous and obviously encroaching onto the Pinky Winky hydrangea, which is now looking great. I think it's okay that there's a bit of a hole there. I still have some really great kind of grassy looking irises and just finished blooming, but would definitely still have more blooms if it was a lot larger, would be this daylily here. It's pink cotton candy, and I'm hoping it'll just like spread in this area, and then I'd have pink cotton candy blooms kind of like here, and then this guy will get nice and big. And so once the Shasta daisies die out like they do and I cut them back, it'll be looking like less of a hole, and I think it's just fine the way it is. So that's what I've changed here. The only other, oh yeah, that's a Heuchera I'm also waiting. It's caramel Heuchera, I think. And I made a mistake. So in one of the videos I was Chelsea chopping, I was like, I'm gonna cut back this hardy viola. Well, it never recuperated, and I think it's drying out or dying. It can't be drying out. It's like probably getting too much moisture, and that's why it looks like that. So all the other ones are fine. They're just like really leggy, and the bugs have now started attacking them, and I should have just left it like that. They're much appreciated in the spring, so I do want to keep them, even though by now they just look raggedy, kind of. I do want to keep them for that spring interest. I'm now realizing I really like spring and summer colors and flowering, and I'm not so much invested in my autumn sedums. Yeah, I have three. I have Carl sedum, which looks almost like autumn joy. And I have, oh gosh, this is the one I always forget, but it's got like a blue leaf, and this is the one I really like, and I didn't Chelsea chop, unfortunately. Oh yeah, firecracker sedum. So I love the leaf of this because it's actually blue in the spring and summer, and then it gets into this like burgundy or like plum kind of looking thing, and it'll flower bright pink, I believe. So I like it and I want to keep it, but I'm gonna, because of the foliage, but I'm going to move it here, I think, to replace this one, which is Purple Emperor. Purple Emperor is supposed to have purple foliage, but it doesn't for whatever reason. It's getting full sun here, well, at least like 7 hours of sun, and it doesn't have purple leaves. It has green leaves the whole time, which, since my Shasta daisies have green leaves and my echinacea have green leaves, I'm like, whatever. I'd rather put this here and it have kind of like a blue-green leaf look, and then here, so I'll give this away to someone who wants it. And then here I was thinking of putting Russian sage. I think the variety is called Denim and Lace. It's like shorter than the traditional Russian sage. So Denim and Lace, Russian sage will go here, and it's that silvery foliage, and it has, you know, long blooming purple impact, like a cool purple impact, and I think that would look really, really pretty here. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm planning on doing. Oh, I just saw this crazy wasp. This guy has been like living here. It's like a black wasp with a white accented polka dots. What, does anybody know what kind of wasp that is? I would like to know. All right, so yeah, oh yeah, these delphiniums are blooming now. So I just bought them, so I like it. My pool. I gotta cut the grass. Coming around to see you, Coco. Bean, what you barking at? Coco Bean. Hi. He's saying hi back. And I would keep the Emperor Sedum, Purple Emperor Sedum. It's just, I'm running out of areas. Like, maybe I can underplant one of the trees. Like, oh no, I got delphiniums there. Behind the Shasta daisies? No, because that hydrangea is just gonna get too big. So the only other spot I can underplant is when I was talking about the sand cherry, right in there. I'm trying to put an Atlantis, to imagine like the really bright yellow and white Atlantis under there. I think that sedum would look really, really nice. I don't want to put a purple sedum. Well, it's not, it's green, but it's like dark green leaves next to this, which looks like dark green slash, it looks like the same exact leaf. It's like a dark green trying to be purple. So I don't want to do that there. So I think I could put it in my veggie garden for now, just to keep it until the spring, when I've decided if I'm gonna add sedums to the front yard or not. And this is like a good holding zone when I'm trying to figure things out in the fall, once I get the veggies out, and in the spring before I plant the veggies. And I mean, even, am I gonna even continue veggies? Yeah, I have to have a veggie garden here, because like I don't even see that area that much whenever I sit on my patio. I don't really see it, so it's the perfect spot for a veggie garden. Okay. So yeah, that was what I did. I have to remember like film these things when I do them, because I split that Heuchera and like divided a bunch of other things and showed the roots. Like I could have definitely showed that process if any of you are interested in moving your plants and dividing it. It was really like overcast, rainy, perfect. Like I didn't even have to water. Everything was so moist. Everything is actually too moist, and I can't believe I'm complaining about it, because we usually are like desperate, right? We don't want to water our gardens, we just want it to water itself. And it has been doing that, but almost to the detriment of some plants that are actually, they prefer more dryness. Like my dianthus are a little waterlogged at the moment, but mostly everything else is like, yes please, water is fabulous. So I'll take it. All right, time to cut the grass. see you in the next vid.